Man, I mistimed that walk, didn't I? I did not know how much time it was gonna take, and then I'm like, oh, I'm already here. That felt like I made it up to the altar before the band started playing. Not yet, damn it! The flower girl isn't even here yet. I had to go back. That's embarrassing. You think I'd be smooth at my own thing, right? All this is set up for me. You think I do that smoothly? No, I'll trip over my own feet. Doesn't matter how nice the lighting is at this club. This is wonderful, isn't it? I feel like a new iPhone or something. This is the new iPhone man. Bad directions, but he'll still tell you to go that way or something. I don't know what that was supposed to mean, but it's very nice of you to come. Arctic blast temperatures. Wow, good Lord, you guys are fine. Like, you guys weren't even wearing your best coats. I watched you come in. You guys were dressed like you were just taking the trash out to the street. And just came in like it was no big deal. I was like, God, I was dressed like I was catching crab or something. Like, I was wearing everything I own. Everything I own. None of it good, by the way. None of it built for this. I didn't know that. I live in San Diego. None of my clothes, they're worthless here. My clothes, I don't know. I thought we all wore the same stuff. There's only so many brands you can buy, right? You were wearing different stuff than what I'm wearing. I didn't know my shoes sucked. My shoes suck. Right through my toes, just. I was like, am I wearing Crocs? What is going on down there? I feel every little That was awful. There was crunching. I heard crunching. My clothes were crunching. I've never heard it sound like I was covered in potato chips, and I woke up drunk on the floor. Just every step, crunch, 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 crunch. I'm like, I think my clothes are breaking. I think it's the coldest I've ever experienced. This is the coldest I've ever experienced. I'm sure this isn't even top 5 for you. Oh my God. This guy wasn't around for Christmas in '96. We lost Nana to the newspaper. That's right. She went to go get the paper, but it was too cold. Sorry, I shouldn't even joke about that. That's a legitimate death out here. That's someone just gets angry and just beats me up. He's ripping on Nana. But yeah, this is the cold. The other coldest was somewhere in Iowa. It was -8. I remember that. That was like 2012. I remember that because like the night before, I was opening for a friend of mine, Charlie Wiener, and he called me the night before because he knows I'm a San Diego boy, and he goes, "Do you know the temperatures you're gonna get into in Iowa?" He's like, "It's -8," and I go, "Yeah, I looked." And he goes, "Do you have like a winter coat?" And I go, "I think." And he's like, "Send me a photo." So I sent him a photo, and he goes, "That's not gonna work." And it's like at night. I'm flying the next morning, so I ran out to like a thrift store right before they closed, and they had one snowboarding jacket for $5. And I took it. There was no other options, and it had a hole in it. So like I didn't notice it had a hole in it, but I took it on the airplane with me, and when I sat down, all these feathers shot out of the sleeve. I look like a bad magician. I just sat down to, boom, just feathers shot everywhere. I'm like, it was a $5 coat, everybody. But it saved my life. I was just covered in feathers, and then I remember I had jeans that I had busted the crotch open on, because I did an audition where they asked me if I could dance, and I did like a scissor kick, and I blew the crotch open. And this was at a time when comedy wasn't going. I didn't have like replacement pant money at that time. There's a time in every young comic's career where you blow the crotch out, and you're like, all right, maybe next year we're gonna replace these pants. So I was in Iowa with a jacket with feathers shooting out and just a flap open. And I was like, that is not good right there. That'd be such an odd spot for, what's that called? Frostbite? Just one spot on the inner thigh. Like, how did that happen? Oh, I did a scissor kick at an audition. And I didn't realize. I didn't realize the trouble I had gone into, but it's very nice here. I love coming to Madison. It's my third time here, and everyone's very nice and good people. I like the hotel I'm staying at. It's beautiful, the Madison Concourse. Very nice. If you guys have ever stayed there, the water pressure is violent. That is the meanest. Dude, it is a fire hose. I'm like, am I protesting? What are we doing here? It is pain, like it's on, and I'm like, it's one of those showers you get in like this, and then you're just against the wall. You can't go front in. There's too many sensitive areas here. You gotta back into the shower and just quick baptism and the bidet shot, and then you're out of there. You're like, I gotta get to my show. It is pain. What happened? Why? Why that kind of water pressure? That must have been a 1-star review. That had to have been. That water pressure feels like a vendetta. Like it feels. I think someone left a 1-star review like 6 months or a year ago, and they're like, the water pressure was a joke. And the manager read that, and he's like, get me Jeff. And Jeff comes by, crank it up to 11, but you can't handle it, sir. I don't know why he has an accent, but that's fun to think of a maintenance man in Wisconsin. The boilers can't handle the pressure. I said crank it to 11, damn it. And now the rest of us at the Madison Concourse. I have been places where it's very hot, and I think I prefer the cold just because you can put more stuff on. You're shaking your head no. Listen, I don't disagree with you. You live here. I'm just coming in for a little, ooh, what an adventure. And then Sunday morning, I'm like, get me the hell out of here. So listen, this is a biased opinion from someone who's only here for a couple days, so don't be offended. But I think I prefer the cold because you can put more on, you know? And then the heat, I've been in places where I'm like, even if I was naked, I'd still be upset. You know? Even God, it was cold. But it does make, I don't know, I think the cold is uniting, you know? Because you need people to just, like you just want to grab a stranger, just don't be weird. Just get in here. Breathe into my neck. Breathe into my neck right now. Don't make it weird, just breathe into my neck. That brings people together. The heat separates us. You're sticking to me like a vinyl seat. Get away from me. The cold is like, get in closer. I know we were fighting, but we're fine now. Just get in. I think that's what's eventually going to solve our differences. I think if it keeps getting colder, eventually it's going to get a point where like just an ICE agent and an illegal immigrant are just like, get in here. I changed my mind. I don't want you to leave. Hey, like, I never wanted to leave. Well, just breathe into my neck. I think the weather might solve all the division. Thank you. Probably too soon for that joke. I could feel the laughs fall off a cliff. It's happening. I'm sorry. But yeah, very cold, enjoyed it. I walked around, I didn't walk around today. The only walking I did, I stayed in the hotel. They had a restaurant in there, and I'm like, I'm not leaving. They had a Starbucks in there, and it's like they were built for this. They're like, we got a Starbucks, we got a restaurant, where do you gotta go? And I'm like, nowhere. That is right. I liked walking around. I walked around yesterday, and it was still very cold for me. But it was enough so I could walk around for like 10 minutes, I could do that. And I didn't realize you guys are tough. Like everyone in your town is tough. I walked by a homeless person outside, and he was like, he had no shoes, barefoot, with a blanket over him, and he crossed the street. I'm wearing everything I got, and I'm like, and he walked by, and he was like, he gave me a look, and I'm like, all right, like he's right. I don't have what it takes, you know. I walked around for 10 minutes, and I had to go into a coffee shop to warm up. I went into Michelangelo's over there. It was nice. Yeah, I liked it. Everyone's nice. And that's tough. That's a tough acclimation to go out from the cold, and then you come in and everything just starts flowing. I just started crying. I had a snot bubble. I'm drooling into my mustache. And the barista knew. She was like, I'll give you a minute. And I'm like, yeah. Sorry, let my face drain. I gotta let my face drain before I order my sandwich. But I like everyone, and everyone's nice here. I know you guys hear it all the time, but like some of the nicest people are in Wisconsin. Like even your young people are nice. That's where you can tell, cause like I travel a lot, and like older people, like people my age and up, everyone seems to be somewhat friendly no matter where I travel. But there's like a new crop of young people where like you go and order something and they just stare at you. They just. You start the I don't know if you probably don't have it here, because everyone's nice, but I was like at a Dunkin' Donuts somewhere, and this girl was just... And I'm weird too, so now it's just two of us going... Hi. And it was a very sheepish hi that I gave, because I didn't know if I had done something. She was looking at me like I showed up to like a high school party and I was too old to be there or something. And I'm like, no, this is a Dunkin' Donuts. This is open to everybody. And I was like, can I get a small midnight roast? And she's just, can I also get a sandwich? And then I just tapped, and then I don't think she blinked, and I was like, all right. And I don't want to be one of those people like that age, and then they're like, back in my day, we had customer service. When someone would come in, we're like, can I take your coat? Can I clean your boot with my tongue? Can I fluff your pillow? I'm not saying that, but we had to like try a little. You could be mean to customers, but you had to let them be rude first. Like, that's how They're like, you couldn't be rude first. You had to give them the benefit of the doubt. Hey, welcome to Dunkin' Donuts. What can I get you? And you're like, where's your manager? Then you can be like, all right, let's bring it on, dude. But it's like, we're not even getting to that part. What's with the judgment? I don't know. But I enjoyed Michelangelo's. Everyone was very nice over there. Got a little breakfast sandwich, got my coffee. That was great. I got to eavesdrop. That's my favorite part of hanging out at a coffee shop. And I hate when people are like, don't eavesdrop, that's rude. I don't know how not to. I have ears. If you have a loud conversation, I'm next to you, I can't not listen to you. I didn't bring my headphones, and I'm going to be like, oh. And I was eavesdropping on a job interview. It was, and it wasn't for the coffee shop. This is one of these job interviews where they're like, let's meet at the coffee shop. That won't be weird. And so it was a job interview at a coffee shop, and I'm listening to it, and it was like, is everyone giving their life stories now at job interviews? She started, she's like, well, I was born in Long Beach, California. And I was like, born? What is this job? There's a data entry? Well, 87 years ago, I was birthed into a boiling pot of water. Why am I doing accents? I don't know what Everyone is for ye old English today. But she just kept going on and on about her life, and then too much. It got sad. It got sad to her. She's like, my husband's a long-haul trucker, and he's on the road all the time, and I'm just lonely, so I moved back here, and I thought I'd get a job, and I just want to turn around like, just hire her. Make her stop. She's bumming everybody out. This is sad. Give her the job. Maybe that's what job interviews are now. I'm very lucky. I've been able to do this full time for the last 10 years, but I still remember job interviews. Like I used to be bad at all of them. Like, I didn't know, I just want to, you know what I hated about job interviews is when they would do the soft talk in the beginning, like, oh, how's it going? Yeah, Monday, so it's kind of warm out there, isn't it? Yeah, it's a good shirt for the warmth. I like these shirts. But that little soft, like, no pressure? I never knew when those ended and the interview started. Like, I remember one time I was at a job interview for Ace Hardware. I was applying for this hardware store, and they were doing that, like, soft talk with me. Like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So, Honda Civic, huh? Oh, yeah, I had a Honda Civic, too. That's good. Automatic? Yeah, who can learn stick? That's hard. And we're doing the little back and forth, and I thought they asked me to tell me about myself, like my personal life, but they meant like tell me about your background and work. So they're like, tell us what's the deal? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm just been hanging out. And I thought it was, that's time to change. And they're like, no, like, why would you be good for the hardware store? And I was like, oh. And then I'm like, I've held a drill. Now I'm all messed up, and I don't know. The worst one I ever had was Office Depot. I got a job at Office Depot. And I can't believe they gave me an interview. Like, I honestly can't believe, because I went in and I asked, this is back in the day where you had to do it and you had to fill out paper. And I went in and I was like, can I get an application? And the manager was like, oh yeah, I'm the manager. Here, let me grab you that. We're hiring right now. I'm like, great, because I want a job. And then I grabbed the paper and I was like, great, I'll bring this back. And I left. And I turned and left. I'm not good with like interaction, so I just, once my conversation is done, I want to get the hell out of there. I wish I had a jetpack to just go, and then just, as soon as I'm done with any conversation with someone I don't know, are we done here? And then just bust through the ceiling, and I'm gone, and I'm never seen again. That's my daydream. That's the dream I'd love to have. But as soon as he handed me the thing and he was like, yeah, drop it off when you're ready, I'm like, cool. And I turned and ran out of the first door that was near me, and it was the emergency exit door that had all these signs that said, don't go through this door. So many arrows going, don't do it. It's not an exit. And I just plowed through it like there was a jetpack on me, and then the whole store. The alarm goes off, and then I turn around, and the manager who just gave me the job application has to like use his key card to reset the entire system. And he's just looking at me, and I'm like, I'm really good at following directions. And then I left, and I filled out the application. I can't believe they called me for an interview. It's like he didn't remember. I remember that interview was weird because he was like, his first question, there was no soft talk like the other one. First question, he goes, why Office Depot? And I was like, what? I don't know why that threw me for it. Like, I was not expecting that. And I was just like, I live down the street. And he's like, what? I can't write that down. I'm like, but I want to walk to work. And this is in that distance. That's all I want. I don't want to drive to, and he's like, I can't write that down. And I'm like, all right, I got a beef with Staples. And the only way I can get my full revenge is to be hired here and make this the #1 store in Southern California. And I will not rest until every Staples is underwater. And they're like, hired. And I'm like, cool, bring it in. I got that job. I wasn't good at that. I don't know, is Office Depot still around? Is that a job that's, yeah, that was like, they didn't give me any training. They just showed me the sexual harassment video, and then they're like, get out there. And I was like, there should be more, right? I don't know if they still show sexual harassment videos, but they were always funny when I watched them. Like, you could, because I always watch it from, like, they auditioned for this. Like, the actors in the reenactments, they want to be like Matt Damon or like, you know, like a big star, but you got to work your way up. It's like doing open mics in comedy. You got to work your way up, and they're like, I got an audition. And so they're just practicing. I just pictured them practicing their lines in their apartment. He's like, can I take you out, Meredith? And then they're like, their roommates helping them out, and they're like, what's this for again? It's for sexual harassment for Office Depot. I'm playing pervert. That's why, I don't know, I was like, looking back at everyone's dreams. Everyone's road to their dreams is always pretty funny and full of, really, you know? But it's fun out there. It's been exciting. I like keeping up with stuff. I think we're going to get Greenland. That's pretty exciting. Isn't that? Bring him on in, man. That's fun. It's great. He said he's like, we're going after it because they didn't give me the Nobel Peace Prize. So maybe I won't be so peaceful. And I'm like, man, just give him the prize. Has that ever? I know you're not supposed to play, but just give him the damn prize. Make one up. Make an intramural, not intramural, but like a biannual. You know how they do like? Just make one up. They'll like it. I don't know. That's crazy. That's crazy that not getting the Nobel Peace Prize might be his art school rejection. We tried it. I don't know. Trying to make jokes while they're still allowed. Don't worry, I'll stop. That was fine. Don't worry, I don't know anything. If that made you upset, trust me, it was a gamble. We all take chances in life. And I love you. Don't worry, it's too cold for hate right now, all right? If there's any sort of hatred in here, let's go outside. No jackets, just you and me. Breathe into my neck. It's what I need, but yeah. It's very nice to be here. I love coming to Madison, my third time. Coldest time I've ever been is this one. Boy, did I learn. Yesterday was the coldest I've ever experienced. And after 3 days here, I've now noticed there is a difference between -5 and -20. There is a very distinct difference between those two temperatures. Because as someone from Southern California, like once it goes below 0, why are you counting? What's the difference? There is a difference, all right? Here's what I experienced at -20. I felt each one of my individual nose hairs freeze. That is a feeling I have never felt before. It was like little gnomes in my nose, just... Each individual nose hair. Wow. I couldn't it was like the first time I had a Q-tip. I'm like, is this... I don't know how I feel about myself anymore.